Hello, my dear students. Today we will continue our topic water from the chapter Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation, and Wildlife Resources. So, as we know, there is life on earth only because of water. Water is renewable natural resource. It supports all form of life, vegetation, animal, and human. We use it for drinking, bathing, keeping cool, cooking food, and irrigating the field. Also, their life first evolved in water 3.5 billion years ago. Most of the ancient civilization and developed along the river valleys. For example, Nile, Indus, and Ganga river. How the water is distributed on the planet Earth. The planet Earth has 71% of its area as oceans, and oceans contain 97% of water in the form not suitable for human consumption. Freshwater accounts for only about 2.7%, out of which 70% occurs as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland, and mountain region because they are inaccessible. Only 1% of fresh water is available for human use. Fresh water is therefore more precious. The quantity of water remains the same over Earth's surface. It can either be decreased or increased. Its total volume remains same as it gets renewed through hydrological cycle by the process of evaporation, condensation and precipitations. And even here we can say, besides supporting life, water has many other uses, as for agriculture, for industrial use, and for the hydroelectricity. But nowadays, increasing population, rising demands for food and cash crops, increasing urbanization, and rising standards of living are the major factor leading to shortage in supply of fresh water, either due to drying up water sources or water pollution. There is water scarcity in many regions of the world. Most of Africa, West Asia, South Asia, parts of Western USA, Northwest Mexico, parts of South America, and entire Australia are facing shortage in freshwater supply. There is a variation in seasonal or annual rainfall in different regions, which cause water scarcity. Overuse and contamination of water sources also cause water scarcity. In addition, water bodies are consistently being polluted by domestic sewage, organic waste, chemical fertilizers, toxic chemicals, heat, oil, and radioactive substances. Even due to the scarcity of water has led many poor farmers to irrigate their lands with wastewater that can contain chemical or disease causing organisms. So question is there, how we can conserve the water resources to ensure our livelihood and safeguard ourselves from health hazards, for food security, and to prevent degradation of our natural ecosystem. We need to conserve and manage water resources. Conservation of water has to be kept in mind while using it. Here are some important measures of conserving water. Number 1, afforestation on hill slope. To conserve water in such areas, trees should be planted in abundance. The roots of trees bind the soil and most of the rainwater seeps into the ground. The second idea is checking wastage. We should cultivate the habit of using the water judiciously in our day to day life. For example, in domestic use, wastage of water should be checked in agricultural activities. Third is rainwater harvesting. Rainwater can be collected in storage tanks and be used later to fill wells and tube wells to recharge groundwater. The fourth is efficient irrigation. The most important use of fresh water is irrigation. Efficient irrigation method should be used to reduce wastage of water. Sprinkler irrigation is an effective method of irrigation which is used in many parts of USA. The last is recycling of wastewater. How? Wastewater from sewage, treatment plants, and factories should be suitably treated to eliminate harmful substances. The treated water can be used for industrial purpose. Domestic sewage water after recycling can be used for gardening. So, these were some ideas to conserve the water resources. Now we will look our second topic, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Natural vegetation refers to plant communities growing naturally without the human aid and have been left undistributed by humans for a long time. And wildlife refers to all animals, mammals, reptiles, birds, insects, amphibian, aquatic life forms in the natural, undomesticated state. Both plants and animals are valuable resource for human beings. Without them, human survival is not possible over the earth's surface. Different kinds of plants and animals are found over the earth's surface. Mainly, plant community is categorized as forest, grassland, scrubs, and tundras. This categorization is on the basis of climate in which they developed. Climate, soil, altitude, sunlight, and locations determine the types of forest. Generally, forests found where there is abundant water supply. Therefore, moist climate with at least one warm season supports forest. Broadly, forests are classified into two types: evergreen forest and deciduous forest. First, evergreen forest. There are four groups of evergreen forest: tropical evergreen forest, temperate evergreen forest, Mediterranean forest, and coniferous forest. Number 2, deciduous forest. These forests shed their leaves during a particular period in order to conserve moisture through transpiration. They are comparatively less dense than tropical evergreen forest. Therefore, commercial exploitation of these forests is possible. They are of two types: tropical deciduous and mid-latitude deciduous forest. Uses of the forest. Forests affect many important functions in the biosphere, such as regulating a number of natural cycles, including the water cycle, carbon cycle, and nitrogen cycle. Forests not only conserve soil but also provide environment for wildlife. Forests give us commercial products such as timber for furniture and building houses. Other products include turpentine, medicines, fruits, vegetables, rubber, paper, etc. Thus, forests are not only very important natural resources but also an important component of our environment. Now, the next is wildlife. Wildlife is an inherent part of forest. It is a part of the ecosystem and forest provide its habitat. Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects and many other microorganisms. Each one has a role to play in the ecosystem. The distribution of wildlife to a large extent depends upon the type of vegetation growing in that area. However, it is common knowledge now that many wildlife species have become extinct while many others have been added to the endangered list. According to the Living Planet study conducted by WWF, means World Wild Fund for Nature, from 1995 to 2005, the decline in wildlife is estimated to be 10,000 times more rapid than ever. But how we can conserve to both of them means how we can conserve to natural vegetation and wildlife together. Students, forests are our wealth. Plants give shelters to the animals and together they maintain the ecosystem. Changes of climate and human interference can cause the loss of natural habitats for the plants and animals. We should make very active efforts to save these precious resources by creating awareness among people through awareness programs like Social Forestry and Van Mahotsava. These programs should be encouraged at the regional and community level. We should plant more and more trees to conserve our forest. There should be a ban on overcutting of forest. World Wildlife Fund is an international non-government organization. It raises money for conservation projects in different parts of the world. CITES is an international agreement between governments. Its aim is to ensure that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten their survival. Besides, national parks and sanctuaries are established in different countries in order to protect and preserve plants and wildlife. Students, the Government of India has passed the Wildlife Protection Act in 1972, which prohibits the killing of animals and cutting down of trees, and any pattern found involved in such activities is liable to be punished. Students, as we should realize the importance of natural vegetation and wildlife to our existence on the earth's surface as they are important part of ecosystem, we should make all possible efforts to conserve these resources. So students, here the chapter is complete. Hope you understood this chapter and the topics. So, for more videos, keep watching SST Zone.